What's up, Hedgehogs and Lady Hedgehogs? My name is your Persox, and Sonic has the weirdest shadow right now. What's even more hilarious is the fact that the broken, floating piece of road doesn't even have its own shadow. Anyway, in the last episode, we took care of all 9 stages in Sonic Generations, and in this episode, we're going to be taking on the rival battle and the boss battle of the modern era. So, without further delay, let's head up to the rival battle right now, which is Silver. Alright then, let's see what he has to say. Sonic, is that really you? Or are you some kind of fake, sent for the Chaos Emeralds? Yep, this is definitely Silver. Paranoid beyond all belief. That's Silver for you. Anyway, let's get this rival battle started, shall we? Alright, here we are fighting against Silver the Hedgehog, who lives in the post-apocalyptic city, Crisis City. Silver, if none of you know the franchise that well, isn't very liked for many reasons. His introduction in 06 wasn't a good start for him since he was known to be the slowest of the playable characters and had awful controls for his psychic abilities. And seeing as how the series is best known for its speed and controls, you could see that it didn't look too good for him. But in this game, Silver is given a second chance to prove to everyone that just like Crisis City, if he is handled good enough, he can do great things, because to me, this is probably my favorite rival battle in the whole entire game. Metal Sonic was fun, but felt a little too predictable. Shadow was a bit disappointing, but this is a lot better than being in a box with him waiting for the inevitable psychic grab that sends you flying into outer space with nothing else to do except laugh at how bad the game was made. But in this game, they did everything right. I mean, all of his psychic abilities are cool. They're not too terribly difficult to avoid, unlike in Sonic 06 where it was absolutely impossible to avoid any of his attacks. But in this game, they just nailed Silver. I mean, they did everything right with him. He doesn't use a lot of phrases over and over again, I think you know what I'm talking about. And he doesn't just throw cars at you. He also takes other objects from the highway and uses them in different ways. For example, this. Give up. As you saw right there, you have to avoid the first object and then move to where the previous object was before the other two try and smash you. And this right here is apparently called a Psychic Knife. Kind of reminds me of the one attack the Egg Emperor uses in the boss battle in Sonic Heroes. Right here we have to jump on top here and get over to Silver. There we go. And after hitting him enough times, he's going to back off, and just like Metal Sonic, he's going to unleash one final attack. And what is this final attack, you may ask? A giant boulder of trash. Yeah, we better start running extra fast here, because if you get hit by that, you're going to have to redo this whole entire rival battle all over again. And I don't feel like doing that, so after homing attacking Silver one last time, his fate's sealed by the creation he made to stop Sonic. Oh, the irony. I would even go so far as to say that Silver just got served. Oh wait, that's an achievement name. I'm not clever at all. Anyway, now that we're done with the rival battle of the modern era, let's move on, shall we? Alright, and after defeating Silver the Hedgehog, we collect the Silver Chaos Emerald. How hilarious. But we cannot leave yet. We still have to face them in hard mode. This should be fun. Let's go, Sonic. And suddenly we're buddies. 1 minute you're trying to attack and kill me, the next we're friends. Just like in 06. Alright, round 2. Let's get this over with. Now, one of the things I forgot to mention in our first fight with Silver is, unlike with Shadow's rival battle, you won't be able to have your boost gauge full all the time. In fact, in the first encounter with Silver in this game, you actually saw a couple of instances where I had to either bump into some cars in order to get some of the boost gauge back up, or I had to wait a while until I was able to find some rings. So unlike in Shadow's battle, you have to be aware of how much of the boost gauge you have left, because for this move, to be exact, is probably one of the best instances to use your boost. Seeing as how I've gone through almost all of the boost gauge already, you have to be very strategic with the way you use your boost. Which is also one of the many reasons why I actually like this battle better than Shadow's. You can't just boost to win. You also have to take into consideration what you have to bump into, when to use your boost in order to get more into your boost gauge, find some rings in time, and you have to focus on doing this while avoiding as many of Silver's attacks as possible. Because unlike in the normal mode, Silver will use a lot of his later used abilities in hard mode at the very beginning, like for example right here. One of the weird things is, I believe this has happened to be once in hard mode, but he isn't showing it right now, is that when he has all three of those objects up, he will send them all downwards immediately at once, and the only way you'll be able to avoid that attack is if you're in between the two objects, either on the right side or the left side. Something else you might have noticed by now, and if you haven't, well, you're not very observant, are you? Is the fact that we're in Crisis City, as I've said before. This is the only rival battle where we're actually in an area that we've already seen before, unlike where we were fighting Shadow at the Space Colony Arc, and we were fighting Metal Sonic at the Stardust Speedway. Alright, I think I've done enough damage to him. He's probably going to use his final attack now. Yep, here we go. Meteor Smash! Silver, I must say, that is the weirdest looking meteor I've ever seen. Anyway. Unlike in normal mode, he's not going to have just one cargo box, he's actually going to have two, which is going to try and hit you a lot faster than I thought, which caught me off guard. But in the end, I put some distance between me and the giant boulder of trash, which allowed me to take at least one hit. It closed the gap quickly, but I was able to get Silver in time. Silver, I'm sorry, but trying to defeat me, it's just no use! Okay, I'm sorry, that was terrible. Will you forgive me if we quickly move on to the boss of the modern era? Great, let's move on. Alright, now that we've defeated the rival battle of the modern era, Silver the Hedgehog, on both normal and hard mode, we can now move on to the modern era's boss. So, let's go. Oh. Guess I forgot to get this in the extras. Silly me. Anyway, now we can move on to the boss of the modern era. So, let's put in the keys. But first, I want to say, if you have watched my 5 challenge videos for the modern era, then you know which keys I recommend. But for those who do not know, I'll just tell you right now. For Crisis City, I recommend Act 1 Challenge 4. For Rooftop Run, I recommend Act 2 Challenge 4. And for Planet Wisp, I recommend Act 2 Challenge 4 again. A lot of Challenge 4s. Well, anyway, if you have all 3 keys, then you are ready to face the boss of the modern era. Now that I've said everything I need to, let's put the keys inside. The keys have been used. The gate has been opened. And now it's time for us to face the boss. Alright. Let's do this. Well, isn't this interesting? So many questions I have to ask. How did Eggman escape that one time creature? Oh well. Those questions will be answered soon enough. Anyway, we are fighting the boss of the modern era, the Egg Dragoon. The Egg Dragoon's first appearance was in Sonic Unleashed. An interesting twist to this battle is the fact that we weren't fighting the Egg Dragoon in the original as Sonic the Hedgehog. We were fighting the Egg Dragoon as Sonic the Werehog. And seeing as how we are playing as normal Sonic now, we cannot use our overpowered, stretchy arms in order to defeat him in about a minute and a half, which is quite unfortunate. But he is a lot tougher now. As you can see, he's gotten a few more tricks. He can now turn his arms into wall panels, but his techniques aren't exactly foolproof, as you can tell. One of the things you have to watch out in this fight is the fact that he obsesses over the use of ice attacks in the 2D sections. Although he will pull out the wall panels every now and then. Although he won't do it constantly, seeing as how this fight would end in about 2 minutes if he kept doing that, leaving his head open for attacks. Although once you enter back into the 3D plane, it's not going to be as easy to hit him. One of the main reasons why is because of these jump panels. It wouldn't be too hard to hit them if it weren't for the fact that every once in a while, one of the launch panels doesn't appear until you're too far away in order to reach it effectively. Sometimes you miss them because you were too far left thinking that it was going to appear on the left, but it appeared on the right. Those annoying little quirks are one of the reasons why I don't exactly like this battle so much. Another big factor as to why I don't like this battle so much is the fact that this boss has so much health. It's almost inhuman. At this point, the Egg Dragoon creates a rift in time and space, and now we're skydiving like in the original, except we're not in the werehog form. We're now diving in order to get to him before the time rift appears again. Alright, one hit in. I don't think it's possible to hit him twice in a row, but the sooner you get to him, the sooner you can get back to solid ground. Alright, back on our feet. And we're still in the 2D section of the stage. Hopefully he'll use one of his wall jump arm attacks. I don't think it's likely, but hey, you could dream, can't you? One of the things I will give props to this stage is the levels design. I'm talking about more of an artistic standpoint, not the level's actual design, cause it's just a straight line. Well, actually it's more of a circle, but you know what I mean. What I do like is the fact that it looks just about right to what it would look like if you were the Hedgehog and not the Werehog facing the Dragoon. And as you saw just a couple of seconds ago, you saw that dash panel all by itself, and then the second one appeared right before I was about to pass it. Me thinking it was going to be on the left side, it was actually on the right side. That's one of the annoying things I hate about this stage, because it just overall lengthens the time for me in order to complete it. That, and when I was finally on the rails, that orange ring didn't get me to them, and that was completely cheap. How was I supposed to avoid that? That was a transition into a 2D plane. There was no way I was supposed to avoid that. That was just a cheap shot. Overall, this is probably my least favorite boss in the whole entire game. Not for just its quirks, but for the fact that it lasts so long. This stage, if you're not really good with it, can last about 8 to 10 minutes. I get through this stage in about 6 to 7. It just takes way too long in order to complete this stage, and half the time you're just avoiding these ice obstacles. And when you do get back into the 3D plane, half the time you might miss the jump panel by accident. And then when you finally do get up to these rails, you might not be able to hit it because they separated, and you might not be able to get the chance in order to actually hit them. Thankfully, once the space rift appears out of nowhere, that means that in this section, once you hit him one more time, he should be finished. So we just gotta avoid these drills. And you're done. Well, Eggman, I wish I could say that was a fun reunion, but it really wasn't. Anyway, now that the Egg Dragoon has been defeated, we now get an achievement called Boom Boom Dragoon. Now that we have our S rank, our achievement, and our boss in the background, let's move on.
I can't believe this. I was supposed to beat you this time. Ah, I'm sorry. I didn't get that memo. I beat you every time. No, seriously. We beat this guy every time. It's like it's our job or something.
What's Eggman even doing here? I thought you said he'd been kidnapped by that big weird thing that sent us all to this place. See? He was kidnapped. This is getting stranger all the time.
Eggman could only escape for so long. Anyway, now that we've cleared the modern era, the last section of Sonic Generations has been opened to us. And boy, does it look messy. Also, now that we've defeated the Egg Dragoon, we get our last Chaos Emerald. And with that, we get another achievement called Treasure Hunter. And with that, I think I'll end things off in this episode. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Right. Have to do the Egg Dragoon hard mode now. This won't be fun at all. Alright, here we are once again. And this time, it's going to be even worse than our first encounter with the Egg Dragoon. The only differences I can tell with hard mode is his increased health and the added spikes onto the rails. That's it, really. Between the two different versions of this boss, those are the only differences I can really tell. And seeing as how I said everything about the Egg Dragoon the first time around, and since this boss will go on for about probably 6 to 7 minutes, 5 minutes at the earliest, I'm gonna have to talk about other stuff. And oh, wait a second, that's something I didn't remember. In hard mode, he uses 2 frost missiles in quick succession, followed by his little tiny twirl. And this part is a bit more unpredictable than the first time around, which can be a bit irritating. But most of the time, it's still pretty easy to get a hit on him. Now, as I was saying before, Eggman changed his tactics without me remembering half of them. I guess I'll explain a little bit. Wow, really? The jump panel attack again? Well, if you want a quick death, Eggman, I guess I'll give it to you. Now, as I was saying, before I get interrupted again, I have a few things to talk about. And seeing as how it'll take a while to scramble this egg, I can talk about them without having to worry about time restraints. Now, first things first. I know what I'm doing next as a Let's Play. It's a shorter game than most, so hopefully I'll be able to finish recording and have everything ready about 2 to 3 weeks after Generations is over. But after that Let's Play, I don't really know. One of the things in the back of my mind I want to do is Let's Play New Super Mario Bros. U. But that won't come out for a long time still. And I don't know if it'll have online co-op. It better have that, or else that won't be nearly as fun to record as I thought it would be. And between my next Let's Play and New Super Mario Bros. U, I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. It'll be difficult to really do anything once summer is over, so the future is a bit of a mystery at the moment, unfortunately. One of the things I seriously worry about is if I plan on doing a bigger game and my life is really swamped at that point in time, I might have to do it without commentary. Although, if there's one thing I really want to get working, it's that I want to record PC games. My editing system, which I just upgraded, has a built-in screen recorder, so I might be able to record PC games. But I've run into a problem with that. I've only been able to see the mouse, the rest is a black screen, so hopefully I'll be able to get that fixed soon. I don't know when, but hopefully soon. And that's about everything, really. All the topics I had lined up in my head I've used up, and we're not even close to defeating this guy. That's not good. And since there's really nothing else to talk about when it comes to the Egg Dragoon and the level itself, I guess I could get on Skype. Give me a second. Crap, there's no one on. Oh well. I was hoping I'd find an unsuspecting victim for me to talk to for the next 3 or so minutes, and then I'd abruptly end the call by saying, "Oh, thanks for the help. I'll see you guys later." But unfortunately, there was no one on, and now my friends will watch this video and they'll be like, "Oh crap, now we have to ask you every now and then if you're recording and you're just wasting time with us until said objective is completed," and they'll be like, "No." Why would you ever think that? That's stupid. But in all seriousness here, this boss has to die. I'd say we'd have to hit the Egg Dragoon at least 3 more times, and then it'll be done for good this time. Just have to avoid all these annoying ice blocks. Hit it again. And now we're back into the 3D section. Let's hit that jump panel. Oh god, why do I always fall for that? And this side is always worse than the right side because of this stupid part right here. I always miss that last rail because I didn't have fast enough reflexes. Now I believe we're going to be heading back into the 2D section again, so better get ourselves prepared. Alright, let's see if I can hit him. Nope. Just have to keep avoiding these ice beams. Ice beams, ice blocks, frost laser shots. I don't know. I don't know what their official name is. Alright, that's him. Let's see if I can hit him again. Nope. Ah, here we go. Time for the home stretch. Let's do this. We just have to avoid that drill, and we'll be good. Alright, getting closer. Almost there. And there you go. Finally. That took long enough. But now that it is finally over, we have defeated the Egg Dragoon on both normal and hard mode now, and we never have to visit this boss ever again. Thank goodness for that. Anyway, now that we have our S rank in hand, let's move on, shall we? Alright, now that the Egg Dragoon has been defeated, I think we'll end things off here. Next time on Let's Play Sonic Generations, we're going to be heading off to the very last part of this game. The finale is just ahead. So until next time guys, take care, and I'll see you guys later.